Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So 22-year-old New Jersey resident Larry Giberson, I think is how you say his last name, Giberson. He traveled to D.C. with his mother, and following Donald Trump's speech, they walked over to the Capitol with the rest of the mob. Giberson later admitted to the FBI that some of the people in the crowd seemed like, quote, instigators, and he conceded that it was, quote, kind of scary when he saw some people, as he described it, geared up in camouflage and other items. Giberson claims, though, that he thought the tear gas, pepper spray, and flashbangs being deployed by the police was just for the people in the front of the mob because they were causing problems. So as the police line broke on the west front of the Capitol, Giberson and his mom advanced toward the Capitol building. They got separated at one point, though, and Giberson headed inside the lower West Terrace tunnel. The mob was physically fighting with the police by the time he arrived, and he admits that he pulled his neck gaiter up over his nose and mouth because of the chemicals in the air. Yet he claims that he went inside the tunnel and pushed his way to the front of the police line because, quote, I felt like I was obligated in some sense, maybe to, be a more calming presence or to help calm the crowd down. The video evidence definitely proves otherwise. Giberson was seen and heard at the front of the police line yelling for others to pass forward another shield. He kept yelling, another shield, another shield. And he helped his fellow mob members to form a shield wall to use against the police. He used those shields and lined them up so that the police couldn't basically protect themselves, and they had these people pushing on them. Giberson was then seen on video along with others trying to rip a shield away from the police. And then several minutes later, Giberson moved back to the mouth of the tunnel, and he was seen on video. He was ushering other people inside to confront the police. So real calming presence. The police say that he pushed at least 10 people inside the tunnel, and then he entered again himself, and he took part in one of those coordinated heave-ho pushes against the police. After exiting the tunnel again, Giberson remained just outside of the entrance for about 40 minutes, and they said that he started several chants of, quote, drag them out. And then he pumped his fist in the air when another member of the mob broke a Capitol window. But Giberson told the FBI a few conflicting stories, and of course he tried to downplay his and others' actions. He claimed he was trying to defuse the situation by yelling, drag them out. I have to read you his statement because it is truly a work of pretzel art, how he twisted himself into a pretzel to this so-called logic that he tried to use to explain away his bad behavior. Giberson said, quote, the best way that I could think to diffuse the situation was drag them out, meaning drag out the instigators, drag out the cops that were being aggressive, drag out the people up in the front, the protesters who were really going at it. You mean like you? Get these people out of here because here we are, all of us enjoying a peaceful protest. We're here to make our voices heard and our cause known. And, these people up at the front, I don't know who it is. Look in the mirror. But they keep causing problems and they keep tainting, what is supposed to be this nice, this important moment for this movement. And so that's what I'm referring to. And that's what I mean is to get them out, get out the instigators, get out the cops. So Giberson told the FBI he didn't witness anything, quote, outwardly aggressive or nakedly aggressive. So which is it, right? Are these people really going at it with the police, or are they not aggressive at all? I mean, you can't have it both ways. I know these people always try to, but you really can't. Either you're saying get out the aggressive people, or there were no aggressive people. Anyway, Giberson also confirmed that he saw Officer Michael Fanone being restrained and carried away by Trump's mob. But Giberson's statement about that incident was all over the place. At first, he told the FBI that he, quote, saw the fear in officers' eyes. That man believed he was going to die. That was what he said about Officer Fanone. Then Giberson said he believed Officer Fanone was carried away, quote, peacefully. Then he changed his story again, and he said that Officer Fanone's assault was, quote, burned into his mind from that day, and that's when the gravity of the situation started to hit me. So Giberson was arrested in March of 2022, and he was charged with civil disorder, entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of physical violence, and impeding passage on Capitol grounds. In July of 2023, Giberson pleaded guilty to the felony crime of civil disorder. So he was looking at up to 5 years in prison, 3 years of probation, and $250,000 in fines. However, the government requested only 11 months in prison, 3 years of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. At Giberson's sentencing hearing, he told the judge that he regretted his, quote, careless and thoughtless actions. And he said, quote, I don't believe my defining moment was there on the lower West Terrace. Instead, I believe my defining moment is now standing before you. God bless America. He didn't say that. I added that. So U.S. District Judge Carl Nichols presided over Giberson's case, and he referred to Giberson's actions in the tunnel as reprehensible. But the judge said that Giberson's age at the time should be considered. He was 19 when this happened. He also said, quote, I do believe that his expressions of remorse generally, and then again today, are candid and truthful. That's important to me. With that, Judge Nichols sentenced Giberson to only 2 months in prison, 6 months of probation, and $2,000 in restitution. Unbelievable. You know, if he had pleaded to a misdemeanor, I might agree with this weak-ass sentence. But for a felony charge with a 5-year maximum and someone who got physical with the police, as I've said before, if you're old enough to do the crime, you're old enough to do the time. It's that simple. And Giberson is someone who just graduated from Princeton as a political science major. The DOJ said his studies include, quote, American ideas and institutions with an interest in constitutional law and interpretation. Seriously? Yeah, he should have known better. God help us all if he starts teaching, sharing his distorted views of the Constitution. This ain't it. Anyway, I will let you know if I hear any more. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe if you have not. Become a donor if you possibly can. Links are below in the description box on YouTube and the podcast. Truly appreciate it. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.